Jesus Reigns TV. Colonizing, dominating, and impacting nations with the gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Now, in the upcoming elections of Zimbabwe, there will be a very serious problem. Now, when I mean a problem, it is unusual than the problems that Zimbabwe has had before. Because those who are from the outside world, outside of the sea, will now be more interested than ever before in that nation. Which now, on that gathering of those elections, as the Lord showed me, there shall be different international bodies interested in one place. It will become like there's a very great gathering in Zimbabwe. But I see different international bodies gathering all together, waiting on that election. But there will be a great contention.
United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres is closely following developments in Zimbabwe's election. He's called on political actors to peacefully settle any disputes through established legal and institutional challenges. In a statement released by his spokesperson, the UN chief expressed concern about a number of issues.
The opposition leader, Nelson Chamisa, has described official results from presidential and parliamentary elections as a sham. He says that even international observers have reached the same conclusion.
Gather yourselves to pray every week until the elections day. That's what the Lord says to Nelson Chamisa. The Lord will stretch his hand upon Zimbabwe, and a dark cloud will come upon the nation. But in the midst of the dark cloud, there will be a shining light within the darkness that will shine brighter than ever before. All that God's plan, no human can be able to stop. Whether you are a ruling party member or an opposition member, that it doesn't matter anymore. What will matter this coming election is who is choosing Zimbabwe first. Everyone will have to choose the nation before everything. God will surprise the people. Pain at first, but joy will be in the end. Pray for the judiciary. It will be the key to the lasting solution. Pray for the judiciary. It will be the key to the lasting solution. The key to change. The key to grace. God will visit the judiciary of Zimbabwe. Fire and power of the Holy Spirit will overflow, and a new wine will be seen in the nation. There is light at the end. Pray for the upcoming elections and pray for Zimbabwe. God bless you.
When elections are being announced in relation to results, you expect the country to celebrate and be happy, but when there's disputes, you always have this simmering tension, political and security, because then government will deploy security.
The CCC did not sign the paperwork to confirm the validity of the poll. Some Zimbabwean politicians have credited the observers for reporting accurately on the controversial election.
But as I've spoken to you, family, that people should not be consumed in the nation of Zimbabwe about who shall win the election. Because this kind of election in Zimbabwe is different than all other elections that have been there.
But this election, its clumsiness is for all to see. It was one of the most clumsy election post 2000. It was very clumsy in its organization, in its operation. But unfortunately, ZANU-PF is behaving like the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission.
What will matter this coming election is who is choosing Zimbabwe first. Everyone will have to choose the nation before everything. God will surprise the people. Pain at first, but joy will be in the end.
That in conclusion, the mission observed that the pre-election and voting phases on 23rd, 24th August 2023 harmonized elections were peaceful and calm. However, for reasons outlined above, the mission noted that some aspects for the harmonized elections fell short of the requirements of the Constitution of Zimbabwe, the Electoral Act, and the SADC principles and guidelines governing democratic elections as of 2021. So basically that is our position at this time. We are now working on our final report that is going to be even more clearer in terms of how we are going to investigate all the other issues that are in this report in our making of the final report.
Now, I still reiterate that this coming election is simply an election of a court in Zimbabwe. It is an election of a court. So that means even if people can cast their votes and all of that, but it will take a court to decide where the direction of Zimbabwe goes and what shall happen to the future of Zimbabwe.
Or at least the numbers that are unclear. As of this afternoon, the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission website was down, so a lot of academics are trying to download the data so that we can analyze it ourselves and see where they got the numbers that they announced on Saturday, but that data is still not available. But I do think they're going to go to the courts, they're going to engage the international community, they're going to try every route that's possible and available to them.
Okay, well, let's talk about some of those options then in a bit more detail. If Nelson Chamisa does decide to challenge through the courts, as you suggest he will that process be free and fair? Can he trust the judicial system?
I think you can't trust the judicial system, but what it does is that this is an open space for them to present their evidence to the world. So not just to the courts, but to the Zimbabweans as well, who might not be clear on where the rigging took place, on where the disparities are. And then I think the courts will find themselves in a difficult position, because if the evidence is strong, they know that the world is watching. And so in a lot of autocratic regimes, what matters is to have the world watching the process as it's unfolding. So the court process is really an opportunity for the opposition to sell their case to the world and say, this is the evidence that we have. These are the things that we think were done wrong, and this is how we think this should be rectified.
The law says Zimbabwe has to pray. As you pray before the year of 2023, he says don't look at the election ballot box, because the change will come indirectly. It will not come where you are expecting.
In terms of this election, but we did observe some very, very serious omissions of what was supposed to be done. And I think that our job is to observe and to report. And we've done exactly that. We observed and reported without fear or favor. And we are glad that we're professional about it.
Dr. Nevers Mumba, thank you very much for your time, the head of the Observer Mission, the SADC Observer Mission in Zimbabwe. Those words, those final words from Dr. Mumba, perhaps that illuminates what could potentially be a final report. He says serious issues that border on the credibility of this election. That is what we are probably going to have to walk away with from that interview.
That's what the law says. The next coming election in Zimbabwe, it is an election of a court. It is all about praying for one man in a court to hear the Spirit of the Lord.
Is whether the opposition will challenge this election result, and possibly many believe, or at least some of the analysis that we've seen, is that this SADC report might possibly be what they could use if they are seen, or if they want to challenge the outcome of these election results. What have we heard?
They are going to challenge the election results. Immediately after the announcement, they did make it clear that they are rejecting the results. They didn't sign the papers, and clearly this paves way for the judicial process and, of course, and other processes that we don't know.
Servant Yamkela Joseph has been released by God in the year of 2020 to publicly prophesy and speak to the nations of the world. Since then we have seen many prophetic fulfillment and events foretold before they happen in a very accurate and powerful way. If this generation is to believe, they should know that Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever.
A night of justice at the courts of heaven. With God's enabled servant Yamkela Joseph. The 21st of October 2023, Mount Zion, Bula Conference Center, Germiston, Johannesburg. Let your case be judged by heaven. Don't miss it for anything. Register right now. Your ministry to the prophet. Donate now. Using these details.